Hello YouTube, Slate Warrior here, bringing you my review of the finals of the Next Great YouTuber Competition 2014, brought to us by Unworld6667, featuring contestants Dorok88 and the RJB0. Both of these YouTubers started from the bottom with 1,500 subscribers or less. Both of them are now above 2,000 subscribers. The RJB0 actually reached 3,000 just recently, and I'm going to be going over both of their videos. There's only 2 entries, so this video is going to be a lot shorter than the other ones, but I'm going to be going over them pretty in depth. But yeah, I just want to thank Unworld6667 before I start doing this review. I just want to thank him so much for doing this competition. This is actually season 3, so you know, another great year of the Next Great YouTuber Competition. This is the first one that I actually watched, and I just want to let him know I enjoyed it so much. Every video, just every entry was unique, and it was cool to compare them and look at the different kinds of like ideas that all the YouTubers have. And I met so many different like YouTubers through this. You know, I subscribed to a whole bunch of them. I've talked to them on Facebook. You know, we're just communicating. It's just networking. So I think it's a really, really great competition, and I'm going to be going over each of the final entries, both from Dorok88 and the RJB0, and then at the end I'm going to be telling you who actually prevailed in the competition. So the style of video for this round was left pretty open because Underworld wanted to let the finalists make a video that best described their channel, and Dorok88 decided to discuss a video on what I think is a really appropriate topic. He talked about the YugiTuber community and how it connects to the Yu-Gi-Oh community overall, and I think this is a really good topic because it's something that I've actually thought about making a video on my channel before, because I got into Yu-Gi-Oh from YugiTuber. One day I sat down and I searched on Google, I searched Yu-Gi-Oh YouTube, maybe to watch some people duel, and what came up was your Yu-Gi-Oh channel, and I watched him interview people, talk about like some cards, and like the most important thing that I saw him do was he was dueling on Dueling Network. So you know, I'm like, what is this website? And I asked somebody in the comments, they replied, it's duelingnetwork.com. I go on there, and that just gets me into Yu-Gi-Oh, and you know, now here I am today making videos about it. So the YugiTuber community definitely has a really big influence on the Yu-Gi-Oh overall. I just want to talk about how he talked about how YouTubing isn't easy. You know, that's questionable, I guess. You know, these videos do take you know, hours and hours to make sometimes, because you have to do your research, you have to make your video, you have to edit it, make a thumbnail. He talked about, and then uploading it. You know, the process, and it is a process. You know, this isn't like just nothing. Even though you can just sit in your car and take a video of yourself and you know, get a couple thousand views. Some people work a lot harder. Like Waffles makes some really good videos with lots of cuts, and Dorok88 talked about that, how you can make comedy videos. Vines even are getting pretty popular, and he made a prank video. So you know, the community is really diverse. Another thing he talked about is how the Yu-Gi-Oh community and YugiTubers kind of rely on each other, because of course without the Yu-Gi-Oh community there would be no YugiTubing, there would be nothing to talk about. But the Yu-Gi-Oh people rely on YugiTubers to get information. You know, MCO40 and Vexicus4666 are some good examples. They talk about new releases and they post deck profiles for people to analyze what they're going to be facing at big events and what new cards are going to be coming out to support their decks. So I think that Dorok88 made a really good video. It was just a discussion. It was just him in front of a camera. There weren't that many special things about it, but his topic was really, really strong, and I think his video for this round was good. So the other contestant, the RJB0, the best dressed in the contest, did another discussion video. If you go subscribe to his channel, you know that his discussion videos are his strong suit, and he talked about deck styles and finding the best balance between competitive decks and the play style that you enjoy, which is his idea of business casual Yu-Gi-Oh, the theme of his channel. And I just want to point out before I start getting to the content of his discussion that his intro was absolutely perfect. If you don't remember, in the last round, I talked about this in my discussion, as well as RJ commented on the video that Simo and P-Bunny collaborated on. They called him a Canadian, right? So RJ it's perfect. He started out this video with himself listening to the national anthem with American flag glasses on, a tie, suspenders, and eating a hamburger, just the most American thing possible. Alright, so let's get to the actual content of his discussion. He talked about deck styles, and I just want to point out that it was really great when he used like a sliding scale. He talked about different components of decks, like what different components can make match your play style. So it was really good when you use some sliding scales and examples. That's one of the things I like when I'm listening to a discussion video, is that when people give examples, because you can talk about you know, all you want. Like if you sound good at talking about things, then you know, people are probably going to believe you. But for me to actually understand the content, I need you to give me some examples, and that's what RJ did. One of the things that he did that I really liked, like I said a little bit before, is that he had a sliding scale, and he was talking about resource management, so like toolboxing versus utility. So you know, getting utilization out of one card over and over would be like chain beat on this end of the spectrum, and then Dragon Rulers would be talking about like toolboxing. So then it was also talking about like combo decks, where Evil Swarm was on this end of the spectrum, but you know, Mermails would be on this other end of the spectrum. Then he talked about different types of decks like aggro, control, and stun, and he gave examples of each of them. Like for stun, he gave an example of Dino Rabbit. For aggro, he would talk about like Cleapert, and then for like control, he would talk about something like, I don't know, Goat Control. So giving the examples really helped push the quality of that video up, because it lets us understand what exactly you mean when you're giving us like descriptions, because you can can describe all you want. You know, if you're a good speaker, people are going to believe you, and the RJB0 is a really good speaker. But when he gave us those examples, we knew what he meant. So besides the aforementioned sliding scales, the RJB0 also, unlike Durock, displayed some things on the screen. Like, I mean, I know Durock displayed some text, but RJB0, while he was talking, put some things on the screen besides his face. For instance, Judgment Dragon with his face being shoop the whoop, or transitions, like between each discussion topic, he would have like the title and he'd play some music, and I think that's really good. Although another thing I would have suggested is to keep a little bit of the music like really soft, just playing in the background, like to just keep it like with a rhythm, and then every time there would be a transition, just the music would turn up and the slide would like fade in. I thought that would have been a really cool thing. But you know, the transitions are just a plus in general to separate each of the topics. On RJB0's channel, he actually talked about how layout is really important, and you know, we can just see from the beginning of the competition to the end how his layout skills have improved. The RJB0 also had a section at the end of the video dedicated to decks like Countdown, Burn, and Exodia that didn't really fit into any of his categories because these decks have only been shown off as degenerate decks. But I just want to point out that Countdown is the best and most skillful deck ever. Remember that. And also, at the end of the video, right before the end, he had just a quick frame, or a couple of frames, of him with his thumbs up and a pillowcase over his head. And I just want to point out that I made it into a meme and actually put it in the thumbnail of my last round's discussion, so I just thought it was kind of cool that he actually included that in his final video. The RJB0, from the beginning, was a very consistent YugiTuber. He often made videos that people would give lots of likes to. He actually won a couple of rounds, and he would get like just tons of thumbs up, so he'd promote discussion. He seemed like a really likable guy. He always talked to the camera, or you know, you could at least hear him talking in the background of all of his videos. And on the other end of the spectrum, we have Durock88, who was like one of the most explosive YouTubers I've ever seen, one of the most explosive competitors in general, because, for instance, in the duel round video, you'd be seeing lots and lots of duel videos on Duel Network or at like a locals, and you got to his, and he was on a skyscraper. He was also the only person who did a prank video. He interviewed a Ninja Turtle. Oh my gosh. So, you know, just two completely opposite, but still very strong competitors for the finals of this competition. If you actually won the competition, you get, I think you get, I know you get the mat, the next YouTuber mat, and a box of a set. I'm not exactly sure what set Underworld decides that he's going to be giving out. If you want to see the mat, by the way, it's actually featured on each of my thumbnails except I turned it purple. And then second place gets half a box of, like I said, whatever set Underworld decides to give out. I think that this round was good because the winner of this round was not just based on who made a better video this round, but rather all of the rounds building up. So, you know, the better YugiTuber, which is kind of how this competition is designed. It's designed to give us the best YouTuber possible. And since we have lots of background information, even if we don't subscribe to either of their channels, if we just saw the videos they posted on Underworld's channel, we have lots of background information on all the different kind of content that they produce. So, we're not just voting on who made a better video for this round, but rather who the actual better YouTuber is. And the winner of the competition turned out to be Durock88, getting over 1,000 likes. And the RJB0 had a really strong showing too. He actually got over 900 likes. You know, it was just cool to watch them like going up and down, fluctuating over the week. You know, somebody would promote, and then the other person would have to respond by promoting, and then, you know, they'd shoot up a whole bunch of likes. But it turned out that in the end, Durock88 is our champion. He is our Next Great YouTuber competition champion 2014. He's the Next Great YouTuber. Link to both of the channels in the description. Definitely go subscribe to both of them. And I guess that's all I have to say about the competition. And I won't see you until next year when I enter. So, goodbye, and I'll see you later, YouTube.